I think we are live. If we're not, I'm speaking to myself. Okay, welcome back to Winning the Game of Business Live. And yesterday we talked about pricing, how to review your margins and make your pricing decisions intelligently rather than emotionally. And today we're going to take that pricing conundrum a step further. We're going to talk about value, because pricing is one thing, but perceived value, that's where the real profit lives. Let's face it, people don't always buy the cheapest, do they? If they did, everyone would be driving the same budget car. Everyone would be wearing the same £10 trainers and eat the same supermarket own brand pizza. But we don't. And we don't because what we value isn't always about the price. It's about what that product or that service means to us as individuals. It's our own personal perceived value of the product or service. So let me ask you something to prove the point a little bit. Have you ever paid more for something even though you knew that you could get it cheaper elsewhere? So that might be a haircut. It might be a meal at your favorite restaurant. It might be that one brand of coffee that you've got to have every single morning. Why do we do that? We do that because something about the experience makes us feel better. Now, it might be that you think the people are more trustworthy. Maybe the people are more like you. And that's perceived value in action. And the truth is, someone in your industry is the most expensive. Why not make it you? And the difference between expensive and worth it is the way you position your value. Now, there's an idea that I often draw up for clients, the value triangle. And like any triangle, there's three sides to the story. And the three sides of the value triangle are quality, speed, and price. And here's the rule. You can pick two, but you can't have all three. So if you want it cheap and you want it fast, it won't be great quality. If you want it cheap and great, then it won't be fast. And if you want it fast and great, then it won't be cheap. Now think about your own buying experiences. If you needed, let's say, an emergency plumber at 10 p.m. in the evening, do you ring the cheapest plumber? No. You want fast, you want good, and you're happy to pay more for that service. Or another example, when you're choosing a wedding photographer, do you pick the cheapest on the list? Probably not, because you want great quality, because it might be a once-in-a-lifetime event. And when you need paper for your printer, I'm looking at the printer over there now, do you care about the quality? Probably not. You'll take cheap and fast every single time. Understanding where you sit on that triangle and then communicating it clearly to your customers and your potential customers is how you position your value. So let's look at a few real world examples of this. So Apple, everybody knows Apple. They don't sell phones though. They sell identity, they sell innovation, and they sell design. People queue to pay way more because they believe in what Apple represents. They feel that they're part of the Apple gang. We've got Starbucks. Now you can buy a coffee anywhere, but Starbucks sell a sense of belonging. I've heard it called the third place between home and work. And the price of the coffee, that's irrelevant to the actual experience that people receive. Your favorite hairdresser, now you might pay more because they get you, they know how you like your hair, they listen, they make you feel seen. So now think about your own business. What are your customers really buying? Because it's rarely just the product or service. There's plenty of people who probably sell your product, plenty of people who sell your service. And what they're probably buying is trust. They're buying confidence. They're buying convenience. They're buying a feeling. And that is what gives you permission to charge more. So how do you actually go about increasing the perceived value? Here's a few suggestions for things that you could start doing. You can start creating more perceived value by, firstly, you make your offer crystal clear. because confused buyers don't buy. So show them exactly what they get, and more importantly, what they avoid when they choose you. Next, you want to show proof by providing testimonials, case studies, before and after stories. These are trust builders, and they help people feel the value before they pay. Think about it. I often refer, it's a bit like a minefield out there in the marketplace. And if you were crossing a minefield, would you rather sort of stick your fingers in your ears and tap your foot on the ground approach to get across it? Or would you sooner have buy a map provided by someone who's actually successfully crossed the minefield? That's what testimonials do. Next, you want to match your brand to your price. If what you offer is premium, then your visuals, your website, your communication need to feel premium, because a customer perception starts long before you have that first conversation. And the next step is a really, really important one, but one that a lot of people get wrong, and that is to sell outcomes, not effort. No one pays for the hours, they pay for the results. So stop saying, we'll work with you for 10 hours. Start saying, we'll help you double your leads in 90 days, for instance. And then once we've done that, and once you've done that, you want to anchor your pricing. And you do that by showing your customer the most expensive option first, because that makes the other options you're going to make to them look a little bit more reasonable. So that's psychology, and it works. And I know someone who actually anchors his price twice. So he starts off by showing the top price. So this is my gold program, and it costs X thousands of pounds. Then I got my silver program at Y pounds, and the silver program might still be a push for the customer, but even though it costs less than the gold program. And then the next program, now this one comes with a bit of a warning, by the way. If you've got sensitive ears, you might want to put your fingers in them. He has what he calls the cheap bastards program. Now think about it. What's actually done there? Who in the right mind is going to be known as a cheap bastard? So my guess is nobody buys that one. And he's also offered something way outside most people's budget. But that doesn't mean nobody will buy. But most people are likely to perceive they're getting great value when they plump for the one in the middle. Let's zoom back to the question I had earlier. If someone else in your industry is the most expensive, why not make it you? Ask yourself, what would you need to change for you to be worth more in the eyes of your customers? What parts of your process, service, or experience would you upgrade if you doubled your prices tomorrow? And here's the irony. Once you improve your value, you often attract better customers, people who respect your time, people who will pay on time, and they value what you do. So your pricing sets the stage. The value you provide tells a story. And the truth is, you won't win by being the cheapest. You win by being the most trusted, the most relevant, and the most valuable. Okay, tomorrow we're going to change tack a little bit. I'm going to share with you why busyness equals laziness. Busyness equals laziness. It's going to be a good one. You won't want to miss it. Same time, same place, 3:30 p.m. UK time. Until then, keep winning the game of business.